Ah! I have a really good excuse, I swear. I swear, chat. I was following everybody on my tweet that I did. And it took a really long time. Because the list kept on going, and I was like, yeah, okay, I could stop and finish later, but if I do that, then I won't know. Then I wouldn't know where I left off. Also, thank you! Thank you for the sub! Is this a Twitch sub? I can't tell. Hey, Peggy! Oh, no problem, man. No problem. It's a Twitch sub. Okay. Thank you so much for the Twitch sub. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, my chats are like, I can see all of my chats, right? Whatever you guys type. But I can't tell anymore what goes where. Like what is coming from where. I need to fix that. I need to fix that, and I was thinking that we could have, you know, the lore animation video that I did on the first week that I debuted? We should have that as my intro. Or like as my, on my Twitch page or something. Are we cooked? We're kind of cooked. Hi, Cha. Hi, everybody. Hi, Suki Vixen, of course. No problem for the follow, guys. Yeah. And then I was already late to the stream, to start the stream, but the reason why I was also late during the clock timer was also because I like last minute decided that I was gonna get a nail appointment for tomorrow, so it became very urgent in my mind that I call right now to make sure that they have a spot for tomorrow. Like, I was like debating, do I do it or not? Because like I don't plan on going out of my house really for the next like month or so. So I'm gonna have the subathon and stuff, and I don't know, I just really want to focus on content right now. But I was thinking that it will... I'm trying to be a better person. Like, you know, I'm on my self-care arc. And I was thinking that, you know, taking care of myself kind of goes into that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make an effort, even though it's just me that are gonna that's gonna stare at my nails every single day. If they're like destroyed and gross, I'm not gonna like myself. Yeah, Sienna is doing a concert, and Sienna worked so hard on these concerts. She's also very talented, like she's an amazing singer. But she would make our models and shit for the Niana concerts, which was always a tremendous amount of work. Do better. Yeah, well, the thing is, it's kind of expensive. Like, the problem is, okay, chat, is that once you get your nails done, you can't take them off. Like, I don't get fake nails, okay? The one thing about me is that I actually have nice hands. That includes nails. But when you put gel, okay, you can't take them off at home. So it becomes a cycle that if you do them once, then you need to keep going to the nail salon to do them. Yeah. So like, and even if I remove the gel from my nails, then underneath they're kind of gonna be like scrap, because like the nail gets bonded with the gel. So really, you just have to keep on applying more gel to make up for it. It's like that's how they get you. I should have never started, because now I'm stuck in this perpetual cycle forever. Yeah, the upkeep. Nail salon is a money pit. It's also a money laundry pit. How do you wipe your butt? They're not that long. Big nails you got now. What are you, Yoda? We need more Rima singing. I need to go back to my singing classes, but you guys voted for the fencing class. So, do you guys want fencing or singing? If I take fencing classes, I could be like Serpico. Hi, Sebastian. So, also, I read another volume of Berserk yesterday. They actually take quite a long time to read. I started reading it at 9. I finished around like 2 a.m. Well, you know, with some snack breaks here and there. But the snack breaks didn't take that long. Singing while fencing? I voted for Kendo. We want everything. We're greedy like that. Yeah, why not both sing while you fans? I mean, one day we'll do... One day I'd like to do a cover, but where would I even put it? That's the problem. Would it go on my main channel? Thank you for the cheers. My... Yeah, like, on my main channel it doesn't really fit, but I could just throw it out there anyway. On my highlight channel, it definitely doesn't fit. The clip channel, we just got it going. It doesn't have a lot of it doesn't have a big audience yet. Sing while you're fencing will debuff your opponent. Haha. Also, covers are like super expensive. Singing shorts? You guys are taking inspiration from the Aya video. Patreon. Yeah. Patreon will nobody will see it there. I don't really have a big Patreon. Guys, go check out my Patreon. You can just follow it for free too. You don't have to subscribe actually. Alright. There's a few things we can talk about today. We can talk about the Kao Twitch ambassador thing. There's Burger Gates going on. There's a Mythic is a Black Company allegations. There's some whole life balls that have been getting a lot of talk. There's a Claire Obscure that's suing this comic artist. And yeah, new Twitch ambassador has people crashing out over her. We can also look at the Miskiff lawsuit upgrade. Update, not upgrade. Anything new about Philia? Nope, not really. Yeah, it's about Kaho. There is no deadline for the new Uwu Market merch, thankfully. Because, like, one of the shirts that we did with them, I wanted to buy more of them for... Because other people, like, in my entourage wanted to have the shirt, too. And then, it like, I didn't know that it was for a limited time, not gonna lie. Like, they missed out on it. I wanted more of them. Thank you for the Vegeta Rain. You guys are enjoying the Tengia? It sucks that we don't have the sound, though. The Burger Wars is hella funny. I fucking love that topic. Let's get started. Okay, so... Let me just switch to my streaming account. So, Shibuya Kao yesterday was made a tweet announcing that she's officially becoming a Twitch ambassador. That provided me, a diehard introvert, into her own bubble with a place to hang out comfortably.
Hi, my name is Kaho Shibuya. My Twitch handle is at Shibuya_Kaho, and I have been streaming since 2020. I am from Tokyo, born and bred. So I play games, and whenever I play games, it tends to be definitely longer than 5 hours. Just chatting, I had just chatting for more than 10 hours too. I was streaming outside, and people can travel Japan vicariously through me. Not just in Japan, when I travel outside, outside of Japan, when I go to convention in the US or Taiwan, then I can take you there. And yeah, it's like spending almost all the time with my chat. Just so many good things. Yeah, it's happening right now, and you're sharing your moment right now with people all over the world, and you get a reaction right away. There's nothing like that. You know, you get to share the moment with somebody all the time, you know, whatever you do. And that is truly the best part. And my chat is very supportive. You see the support all the time. It just makes you so happy. The great thing about Twitch, because I don't stream on other platform, is you get to connect with other streamers so easily. Like, you don't have to do collaboration necessary. You don't have to co-stream, even just like a rating and saying hi, and like, you can do shout out. It's just so easy to connect with other streamers, growing your community. So I hope you enjoy being a part of the community or starting your own community.
Okay, that shirt is I keep looking where I'm not supposed to, chat. But yeah, a really wholesome video. I wonder if I didn't know that she only streamed on Twitch.
And I hope you visit my community on Twitch.
It is an eye magnet, and like that button that was threatening to open up. I loved it. However, not everybody's on board with that. There's been a lot of backlash over it. Here, this tweet garnering 4.6 million views. Isn't she? New Twitch ambassador from Japan is a former Jav star. I mean, I feel like, didn't everybody already know about this? I mean, Kaho, we know Kaho because she's been involved, or she's been like, at least for me, she's always brought a lot of informative stuff from Japan. During the, for example, she was the one. She's been around like the platform for a really long time. She's a gamer, she's a nerd. I think her being an ex-Jav star and being a nerd, like, two things can coexist at once. I don't know why, because of her past, suddenly it's supposed to take away everything that she's done for the community, because she's done so much. She doesn't hide it at all. She's super wholesome. She was the one who exposed Miskif for fucking shaking on the cherry blossom trees back then. She also spoke during the V Shoujo controversy. It's like suddenly now everybody's forgotten about that. No, she was the one that was saying that there was this V Shoujo manager that was like really rude, and he was revealing their personal info, etc. Yeah, never judge people by the book. The thing is, she's also been bringing awareness with what's been happening with Manga 1 over in Japan. I think she's a real one, honestly. There was another tweet that was talking about what she's done. Since everybody wants to talk about Kaho's past, let's also talk about how she was a sports reporter, got a perfect score on her TOEIC, has written a book, appears in Like a Dragon, owns a clothing brand, cosplays, and so much more. She's extremely driven and educated. I've always admired and looked up to her for her tenacity. She's extremely worthy of being a Twitch ambassador, but instead of learning anything about her, many of you just want to hate on her SWers. Hi, Bunny! So, also, why is she getting heat? I think it's because people want to tie this to Dan Clancy being a mega gooner, which I understand. I mean, that part is true. Dan Clancy is a mega gooner, and he also has a lot of favoritism towards not, I wouldn't call it not safe for work content, but it's like borderline not safe for work content on Twitch, and the hypocrisy of that has been called a bunch. However, Kaho is not that. So I don't know why she's getting flack for it. It makes no sense. I think she's talented and she deserves it. What else? You tweeted about Kao Shibuya claps back at Tecton after he questioned her Twitch ambassador status. Twitch newest ambassador is an ex-prawn star, what the fuck? And she responded, dude, are you the one talking about somebody's sexual record? I mean, he did get an extended protective order, so he lost a lawsuit against his ex and does have allegation against himself. Of course, we've got his biggest defender, Mr. Templar. Tecton is right. It's weird that Twitch has a platform with Chooser. Dan Clancy seems like a weirdo and a creep. He is literally his biggest dick rider, this guy. I've showed you guys screenshots of Tactical Templar. He's so unhinged. And the crazy part is that Tactical Templar, in this insane plot twist, is a huge Kaho simp.
For those who don't know, this is Kaho Shibuya, and she is a human sunbeam. She's an incredible person that if you've ever listened to her talk on a podcast, if you've ever listened to her interact with VTubers like Project Melody or Iron Mouse or Silver Veil, you will know that she is an honest and genuine person, and she's just wholesome. No, I know that you say, well, she's wholesome, but she was in that industry. Well, yes, she was in that industry, and she chose to leave that industry, and she has taken her time to build up a new career afterwards, where she does cosplay and she goes to appearances at conventions, and she just so happened was at Anime Matsuri.
You can't make this shit up. It's always those that scream the loudest.
So that earned her a lot of ire from the usual suspects. You know who I'm talking about. I don't even have to say their name. But let's scroll down here, and I just want to take you through a walk in the tweeting history of Kaho Shibuya, because this is going to inform another video that I'm going to do, which is going to be more focused on other people that have been talking about Anime Matsuri. We'll talk a little bit about Kayla Salcedo and her attack on Kaho Shibuya, but I just want to go through and show you what an awesome person Kaho really is.
He used to be so wholesome. What happened?
So you see, like, her tweets are not super political. They're not political really at all. It's sort of like, hi, I'm waking up, you know, that sort of thing. Usually I don't particularly like that type of content.
Okay. So his response to that is to Nicolas the Oreo pointing it out, sure, Paul, mic quality was garbage. As if that has anything to do with what he's saying. I took too long to get to the main point and was too effusive in highlighting Shibuya's overly positive human sunbeam persona. But the core of the video is fine. Mars Girl was a piece of shit, probably still is. If this is the best you've gotten, you got nothing, big boy. What do you mean? Yes, you took too long to get to your main point. I don't even know what the fuck was his main point of the video was, but it sounded like she was the main point because he was simping and glazing her. Oh, man. Yeah, the main point was how great she was. Like, stop. Just stop. It's so funny when hypocrites get exposed. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, let's go into another funny segment. I love this. Okay, so Oh no. Did I troll? Okay, phew. I found it. So, Hololive has, NTT Docomo develops a VTuber support system using haptic sharing technology called the Field Deck. And Hololive experience content to be showcased there. So it's like these balls. It's like these balls that will sync to your favorite idol. Yup. And it's gonna connect with like their heartbeats and stuff. Because so far they explained that the VTuber experience is centered on sight and hearing, but this is supposed to bring you to the next level, incorporating all of your senses. So it's going to be more about the fans receiving physical sensation as the warmth and breathing of their favorite idol gives them a sense of their presence, as if they were right next to them, and an experience that feels like a one-on-one connection. This experience features 3 members of the Hololive English Myth. By selecting each member, you can experience the member's dance move, high fives, inner movements such as heartbeat, and haptics linked to the video production. Interesting topic, definitely for the most parasocial people, and I've already ordered 10 of them, but it's just really funny because then Grok made a summary. Announcement of technology allowing users to feel Mori Calliope's balls and other and the holomems reacted to it, with Mori responding, "What the fuck?" Gigi saying, "I need to buy the technology," and ERB responding, "The frig, not with justice funds, you're not." Yeah, VTuber fans aren't beating the allegations. Oh, Grok, the wording. Gigi, for sure, is Mori's biggest simp. So she's already got one pre-ordered. 100%. Yeah, interested to see how that will work out. Alright, so I might need a little bit of help from you guys for this one, because I'm not super knowledgeable on video games and their developers, and I know you guys are. But I saw this on my timeline today, and it was a French thing, so I could understand it. Basically, this comic artist called Olivier Gay received an email from a lawyer that is part from the game Claire Obscure Expedition 33 from Sandfall Interactive, and that letter asked him to stop the sale of his comic book edited by Dracu, intitulated Academy Claire Obscure. And they were saying that his comic book was basically surfing on the coattails of the success of the game. So he says that this was a project that was honestly pitched by Dracu in 2019, and he had a contract with them for this name in March 2024, way before the game even came out. So it's not that he wanted to, ride on the success of the game. It just happened to be an unlucky coincidence. And he says, too bad, because if he had taken out the comic in February of 2025, he would have been the one that could have charged them. But he also says the comic has nothing to do with their history or their fandom. It's about a peasant that goes into a magic school, and the Claire Obscure is a reference to a magic technique in particular that's taught in that school. Anyway, he says he has neither the energy or the money to engage in a combat, like an illegal battle, especially not against a French studio that he appreciates a lot, because he says the most frustrating part is that he played Claire Obscure and he what does it mean? He says he got platinum in the game. Is that an achievement? And he beat Simon in full parade. I guess this is a reference people who've played the game must understand. And he says oh, that means all achievement. That means 100% achievement? That sucks! Imagine that! What the fuck? And Simon is a super boss! Imagine you just completed a game at 100%, that's how much you liked it, and you're being sued by them. He says he even, like, recommended them on social media. And he has so much admiration for the success story of Sandfall Interactive. So yeah, he says it's really been depressing to have them attack him in justice, like in the legal system. And the comic will have to continue under another name. And he hopes that it will still continue with some success, although he's got to change the name. But he says, I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty depressing. Yeah, I think the legal department got trigger happy on the... It seems like it's a copyright matter, copyright infringement matter. He was responding to a comment, and he was saying something like that. Some people are pushing back against him for no reason. It's really not his fault. Somebody said that the font was similar. Where is it? Can't find it now. Okay, I can't find it. Somebody was like claiming that they both had similar fonts, but the fonts were still like distinguishable enough. And somebody was like, you should have just told him to fuck off. And he says, it wasn't my decision. Or, yeah, I would have done that. But it's also, you know, this is not just his decision. He says, this is also the decision of my editor, my illustrator, my colorist. So, you know, you need to think before you go and fight a company like this. Oh, it was a top reply? Oh, maybe it was on the main post, sorry. Oh, there we go, it's here. Yeah, some people were saying that the two fonts were extremely similar. You can't copyright a word, it's a trademark? Oh, did we get raiders? My god, I've been looking for the post so long. Yeah, I feel like it's not similar at all. But I guess because they're both yellow, it is. But also Clair Obscur is like isn't it like a painting technique? Oh, we got a Lulu raid? Hold up. Lulu! Lulu Lasso? I still have her voice recording. Nay nay, bitches. Oh, Lulu Lurkhart. Sorry. Sorry I missed the raid. Oh my god, thank you so much, Lulu. I hope you had a wonderful stream. Welcome, Lulu Raiders. I hope you have fun here. Someone told him to skip chapter 33. Yeah, I mean, Expedition 33 is like kind of an important part of it. No worries, hope you had a good stream. Oh, thank you so much, Lulu Lurkhart. Go check out her channel. Clear obscures for painting the strong contrast of dark and light elements. So what do you guys think? A lot of people on my tweet were saying that like Sandfall's been taking L's. I don't know anything about Sandfall. Are they usually like well liked? Because I know the game was very well liked. Completely unjustified cease and desist. Yeah, it's sad. It's very well liked. Oh, Sandfall is a new studio of primarily ex-Ubisoft. It's probably the lawyers of Sandfall going after people like this to justify their pay, not the studio, but lawyers like that gives a really bad reputation to Sandfall, which is unfortunate. Oh, the studio did get a big boost out of Ubisoft hate? Why? Because they're ex-Ubisoft employees that were like, fuck you, Ubisoft, we're launching our own studio? Very disappointing. Clair Obscur is not even a term they invented. This is like Sky Sports going after every company that has Sky in its name. Clair Obscur is the French name for the art style, chiaroscuro, and it's like calling your game Cubism Quest or something like that and trying to stop others from using the term Cubism. True! Oh, thank you, Zombie Rain. Remember, Moist Critical got sued by someone's legal department the creator didn't even know? That doesn't surprise me. Do you remember what it was for? The game also gets a ton of praise of its own. Yeah, I know it won an award. I said it and said it again. E33 devs are not some innocent small indie. They're just another big corporate dev disguised as indie. I know somebody like compared them to Nintendo. If he can prove the date of his use of the phrase as a trademark, then the registration means nothing, and it's simply a matter of asking a lawyer, hey, you want an easy payday? Well, he says that his illustrator, publisher, and editor didn't want to fight it, so it wasn't up to him, apparently. My background music came from Epidemic Sound. It's like a website that you buy a subscription and you can whitelist some channels and use every single sounds and music that there's on that website. It's very useful for content creation. I have all my channels whitelisted on that. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to open up the next link and I'm having some issues. So let's address the Mythic Black Company allegations. So Mr. Ernul there, Ernul is somebody that is known to this to this channel. So he's such a pest that I actually have him blocked on my main account. He's a very well-known unicorn. I don't know if he's LARPing as a unicorn, like if he's just an anti and an instigator. But he was the one like crashing out from the Shiori collabing with Gerard. We covered him when people were going after ERB because she was like interacting with the Holo Stars. So he just is very active on social media and forums and all of that, constantly stirring up trouble. And now, Grimmy, because she left Mythic and she seemed to have an issue with them. Now Ernul is saying that. So Grimmy implied Mythic is just another black company. But will dramatubers talk about this when all the biggest ones work for them? Well, I guess False already graduated, but Rima is still there. So, look, I know Ernul is like the most jobless person on this entire platform. So it's going to be very difficult for him to understand what I'm going to say next. I'm going to try to be as clear as possible. I don't work for Mythic. They work for me. Like, how can Mythic be a black company when they don't even employ VTubers? They provide a service. We are their clients. Like, VTuber agencies, for all intent and purposes, employ their talents or hire them as freelance or whatever the fuck they want to call it. But this is not even how it works with Mythic. So, yeah. I don't know why people are still listening to what Mr. Ernul is saying. I think it's because people don't know who he is. But all you need to do is like look at his Reddit thread history or look at his profile page. It takes 2 seconds. It's just a sponsor agency. They provide additional services which they get like absolutely nothing for it. And they've helped me with a lot of stuff, TBH. So Chacha here responded saying Mythic isn't even a VTuber agency. They're a company that provides sponsorships to their talent roster. They also provided legal support if someone else tries to infringe on your IP. Mythic has helped me twice in that regard for making sure my IP was protected. I have nothing but good things to say about Mythic, honestly. What do you mean justice for Juan? Yeah, considering how you have reported for Mythic, I know I'm part of the Mythic Mafia. But the truth is, and I've said it a million times and I'm gonna repeat it again, because nobody seems to understand how companies work. But I can talk shit about people in Mythic. Like, nothing in the contract prevents me from it. And other people in Mythic can't talk shit about me, and they have. And I have also. I've made a video on Bunny Ayu, made a video on Neanners. That was like not super critical, but there was like, I report on some critiques of her. But the Bunny Ayu video was definitely a critical one. They don't want to understand. Rima, explain why Juan is in the basement if you're not a black company. Yeah, look, I really do think this lack of understanding from the industry is due to the fact that people aren't working like jobs from really early on in their life, because to me it's all completely clear. Like, I've even seen some speculation as to how like production agencies work, saying that some production agencies have sway over over the clients and stuff. I'm like, God, that is not how things work at all, at all. Like, what the fuck, dude? I just wish people like did a little bit of research before speaking so confidently about things. But anyway, I mean, I try my best to educate people on the things that I do know about, but it's very difficult when people have already made up their mind about it. Personally, so far, I've had very good experience with Mythic. I'm very happy there. However, other talents may have had different experiences, and that's fine with them. They can deal with that with Mythic themselves. I can only speak about my own experience. Chacha then adds how it works. Become a Mythic talent, get on a roster of other streamers. Gaming companies pick streamers on that roster and offer money to play games/activity on streams. Mythic asks talents if they want to sponsor, plan stream day and fulfill sponsor requirement. Mythic gets a cut, plus streamer gets a bigger cut, profit. I know Mythic like is trying to get more also, it's like they have a range of services and you can ask them to be more involved or less. But I've only ever used them for sponsors so far. It just reflects the IQ of Twitter. Literally room temp. Yeah, true! I know, like, I've worked for production companies and literally they have to bend over backward for what the client wants. Like, this is not how production companies work, man. They're just the muscles. I know, Mythic ass, Mythic has, it all sounds like Mythic cast to me. You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like Mythic yas. He's actually gonna unsub because I keep bringing this back. I don't know, I would honestly step back and see what happens. Grimmy seems visibly upset at this. I think it's something that can't be simply dismissed out of hand. She's not dismissing it. She's talking about the Black Company allegations. I'm not sure what Grimmy's experience is. My main point for retweeting was to explain that Mythic isn't a traditional VTuber agency and what Mythic does for their streamers. I think a lot of people believe that Mythic operates like Hololive or another VTuber agency. Another VTuber agency might own IPs, for example, and they might have a say into the kind of content that the talents do. Like, they manage them. The talents have to kind of report to them, perhaps for perms or for collabs, etc. That differs from agency to agency. But they are definitely, like, the easiest way to put it is that they're employed by them. Like, the money goes through the agency first and then is funneled to the talent after they've taken their cut. Meanwhile, for Mythic, it's more like an exchange of services. Also, Mythic is not like mainly representing VTubers. They just happen to have VTubers on the roster. But originally it's been funded for gamers. Also, like, there's so... I think Chacha did this tweet because there's been so much misinformation about Mythic lately. I mean, I wouldn't call it a VTuber agency either. It's more just a general talent agency. I don't see what the difference is, though. Isn't everything you listed what a VTuber agency would also do anyways, or at least should do? VTuber agencies take a more active role in what their talents do. Agencies also take a cut from a regular revenue from Twitch/YouTube. Mythic only takes cut per sponsorship. That makes sense, because why would you give them a cut if they haven't done anything, you know? I would never give a cut to somebody from my stream if they haven't helped me, like, set up my stream. Mythic doesn't tell me how to stream, rules or stipulation to stream, etc. VTuber agencies, in most cases, own your VTuber identity as well. I think technically it's still an agency, but I get your point of it being more... They can... Okay, agency is such a broad word. Like, you can be a marketing agency, you can be an agency specialized in events, you can be a talent agency, you can be a VTuber agency. Like, there's all kinds of agencies in the world. There's, like, agencies for fucking protection of consumer services. But I think because we're VTubers, we hear agency, we automatically think it's some kind of like VTuber corpo. Still an agency, absolutely. It's not a VTuber agency in the whole sense. It's more like a sponsorship team with extra benefits. Imo, all the good things of an agency without the stifling control. Hey Chacha, not saying you are wrong or anything, but I'm pretty sure we were saying some of the same stuff about VShoujo, and we all saw how that ended. What would you say is the difference between Mythic and VShoujo? Laundry service agency, there you go. It's because there's a campaign against Asmongold. It might be tied to that, honestly. Yeah, I think they're saying that because people are tying Mythic talent with VShoujo, and they're saying that VShoujo used to also be defended by their talents. Chacha responds to this saying, I named a lot of differences. Mythic provides sponsors, provides legal aid for VTuber IP, only takes cut from sponsorships. VShoujo, like companies, takes cut from every stream. Well, I don't think they take cut from every stream. Tells you who you can and cannot collab with. Agency run guidelines and restrictions for streams. Owns your streamer identity. I don't think they owned the IPs in VShoujo, but they owned other rights. Perhaps merch rights and stuff. It wasn't super clear how VShoujo made their money. But also, that's also why they were running out of money, because they weren't owning enough shit. Like... So yeah, VShoujo had different departments. I don't know how performing like the departments were still operating towards the end, because how could they provide all these cybersecurity services or legal services when they were literally out of money? I'm not sure towards the end. But at the beginning, they did have different departments. VShoujo made money? That's my question. But they own some rights for sure. Like, they made their money somehow, either on sponsorships, we know that for sure. We know that they made money on merch rights. They made money on maybe some covers rights that were launched with VShoujo. Things like that. They made money from charity. Oh my god. That's awful. And there's also the Philian haters in there. They also provide legal support if someone tries to infringe on your IP from the agency whose biggest talent relies on a stolen VTuber model. I guess they're talking about Philian here. Surely it's a Philian hater. Like... Also, Philian hasn't been with Mythic for a year. Like, people don't know shit, man. Yeah, banks are run on corporate. They're an agency. Yeah, Philian is not with Mythic anymore. And it's not really stolen, is that she can't monetize it. And I thought that she worked it out with the creator, I'm pretty sure. Where is Philian, by the way? I don't know. People keep asking me that. I don't know. I don't have more clues than you guys. Like... I don't have more secrets. But yeah, Erno, not to be taken seriously. He also drove one of our community member to leave the community. He was a huge Hololive fan, and like him and his friends basically would respond to every single YouTube comment he left on a Hololive clip to warn people that he was a Hololive anti until like people believed him. They also made Reddit threads on him. They made Reddit threads on me, of course, but like going after a regular person is really fucked up. It's really sad because they kind of robbed him of what he loved about the hobby, and they painted him as somebody who hated them when he was like the complete opposite. Yeah, they're actually crazies. Allegedly also doxed some VTubers, like really bad person. So I don't know why people keep responding to him and giving him attention. It really takes only 2 seconds to check like his Reddit history to see that this is he's a repeated offender, or to check his Twitter profile to see that he's a schizo. But, so yeah, anyway, if you see something, say something. Don't argue, just point it out. And now, we're going to my favorite topic. You're a strong horse, Rima. You will overcome everything that comes your way. I really hope so, Jason. I really hope so. I need to get like a really tough skin to work in this industry, which is something I'm working on. Yeah, there's been wait, we'll talk about Burger Gates after this. Been a clip going viral of Miskiff reacting to the read of the court transcripts.
And although she defines it as sexual assault, a reasonable viewer would unquestionably understand that the term is her own description of what happened to her. The viewer is not left to guess as to the nature of the assault based solely on the term sexual assault. Yes. This is what she wrote. This is the fucking person that says I sexually went live with 60,000 viewers and told everyone I sexually assaulted her, made everyone stop talking to me for a fucking year. This is the person that did all this stuff, chat. This person that fucked my life, that I got called a fucking rapist for, is this shit. She literally says it was her emotional definition, not the definition of sexual assault. And I have to fucking live with this shit. It's just like, what the fuck did I do? It just sucks, chat. It just fucking sucks. It kills me.
Okay, I don't want to sound insensitive there, but like, it feels like fake crying. I've tried to provide objective content in your highlight video. Which one, Kimchi? I'm so jealous of everyone's at Fest right now. I know! Did you see the splash art from Fest? Oh, everybody looks like they're having so much fun at Hololive Fest. It sucks.
But it's been 4.5 months. I don't have a voice. Everyone took that voice from me. Everyone did. Everyone took that voice. I don't have a voice. This is not going any. No one cares. I still don't know what to do, chat. I'm fucked up. I don't know what to do.
I mean, I think like he has no goodwill left because like he's very annoying in the way he acts, which is like playing on it. Like Tectone can say or do worse shit, but he's still way more charismatic than Miskiff, which is really playing against Miskiff. But I do want to have some objective opinions on the transcript. So now people are really pushing back against Emiru, saying she's changing the definition of essay due to her like emotional. They're saying she's backtracking on the essay allegations, and she called it like her emotional truth or something. And other people are like, no, she didn't backtrack. She even provided the full transcript of the story on her stream. And basically, right now they're at the part of the lawsuit where it's just a motion to dismiss. It's like a defamation lawsuit against her, Asmongold, and Mythic and OTK, I believe. Force or Fox Force, Rima? Hey, I didn't think of Force before. I think you're the first one.
Don't. Go after me all you want. I have nothing to lose. Oh, man. Similarly, the first alleged complaint alleges that Emiru's statements regarding Mizkif's controlling and toxic behavior were defamatory. Bro, how many people in this audience thinks Mizkif have a chance? Like, do you think he's going to win this lawsuit? Do you think like he's going to get justice? Do you think it's not going to get dismissed? Okay. She stated he was controlling over her clothes and friends when she streamed. And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? He admitted in his own words to telling her how to dress, who to speak to, what to speak about, and who to contact. He says, I know I was controlling and I should have just ended the effing relationship, but I was so confused as a person. The last 9 months of this relationship, things got extremely effing toxic. Mizkif also admits in his live stream that Emiru's statements regarding
so at the end of the day, the lawsuit is not about essay, it's about defamation. And according to Henry, or what I've watched of his video so far, Henry really seems to think that he thinks Emiru's lawyers are good, like they're putting up a good defense. And he's like admitted on stream for a bunch of the defamation points so far.
His driving habits were true. She said that he would drive like 150 miles an hour, and one time said, now we're both going to not be alive anymore, threatening to delete us both. What does he say on live stream? I drive fast literally everywhere. I drive fast all the time. I don't remember the exact speed I got up to, but we were definitely flying.
He
now,
did
he
say
doesn't
that.
say anything about deleting everybody themselves, but he definitely confirmed driving fast. So is it more likely than not that while he was driving fast, he stated that he was going to, statements are nearly identical to the daughter's statements in the Benson case. Emiru expressing her heartfelt emotional journey over several years with an admittedly toxic man. There go that man thing again. Her story is admirable. And in telling it, she is stating her emotional truth, not some statement of decisive fact. Oh, gosh. Oof. So
her lawyers are really glazing her in there.
Is she walking back the SA claims? She's like, oh no, that's my emotional truth. That's not a statement of facts.
Yeah, they don't, her lawyers, I guess, don't want, like, their defense is like, it's not to be taken literally.
My emotional truth. Bro, the damage is done, dog. Emotional truth, statement of fact. It's a game over on Mizkif. Interestingly, that Benson case also directly dealt with the question of whether accusing someone of SA constitutes defamation. There, the daughter used the term SA without explaining exactly what occurred between her and the stepfather. Unlike the First Amendment complaint, there, the court had to benefit of the daughter's entire statement to review. She harping on that. The court held because the Texas Penal Code defines criminal offenses as SA, and Guerrero published a statement that Chris had SA'd her without further explanation. The words Guerrero used were reasonably capable of a defamatory meaning. An example that Chris had committed a criminal offense of SA against her. For purposes of the TCPA, this was sufficient for the father's claim to survive the initial challenge by the daughter. Ms. Kiff will certainly focus on Imaru's use of the term SA, which she should. I mean, I would do the same, and argue that Imaru's statements are necessarily defamatory because they include the same term. However, in comparison to Benson here, Imaru described in detail the exact nature of Ms. Kiff's assault against her. Bizarrely, this is the one sentence that Ms. Kiff actually quotes in the First Amendment complaint. He started kissing me in the face. I let him do it. And then he suddenly tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hands down my pants. I screamed. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat. Okay? Taking the whole context of Imaru's statement into account, as the court is required to do, the situation is very different than the stepfather in Benson. Imaru describes exactly what happened to her, and although she defines it as SA, a reasonable viewer would unquestionably understand that the term is her own description of what happened to her. I don't know about this.
Damn lawyers.
If someone comes out and say I was SA, and then like later down the line say he kissed me and finger popped me, and then I yelped and he got off me, I don't know. Maybe. It's still the term SA. The viewer is not left to guess as to the nature of the assault based solely on the term SA, like in Benson's case, which focused on the fact that the daughter did not actually describe the alleged assault.
Okay, so they're making they pulled up this other lawsuit that was similar, and like a defamation lawsuit where the term SA was used, but where the daughter didn't describe the SA allegations, and her lawyers are making like this point that this is different because she did describe the facts, so the viewer is left to the viewer's interpretation, which I suppose this can be debatable. That is probably the weakest point of her entire lawsuit. We're gonna watch the Legal Mindset Fast Fact after. Yeah, I agree. I think I'm gonna have to agree with him there. I think it's gonna be like the one thing that's gonna be the one weak link in her lawsuit. But the rest of it, like her lawyers seem competent, but I haven't seen what Miskiff's lawyers have been doing, TBH.
Okay, it might not fly. The judge will determine it. Just like in Benson, Imaru's statements are not actionable as defamation because they show her personal viewpoint, her own emotional truth, and not purported fact. The court should dismiss the First Amendment complaint as to Miskiff. Man, that emotional truth thing.
How does it work though? Like, let's say the court finds that 4 out of 5 of the defamation claims hold weight, but one of them, like the SA, doesn't. Do they proceed, or is the whole thing thrown away?
Is a bish, but at the same time, this is federal court. TCPA don't apply. So you have that element. Imaru's claim was emotional, might not fly because she prefaced the whole thing by describing it as an essay that really couldn't be described as anything as a statement of fact. We're going to find out. The amended complaint must be, is Imaru going to win?
But I thought LM said once that, like, and I didn't know this, but if somebody kisses you without your consent, that could be defined as SA. I didn't know this was a federal case. I don't know if it means it's automatically a criminal case or if it's a civil one either.
Dismiss.
Thank you, Ryder.
Is her emotional truth argument regarding SA going to hold weight? Why didn't she not address the stalking claim in her response? And where is the
Wait, the stalking claims were way stronger, and she would have had witness and evidence for it. Why wouldn't she address
Restraining
that?
order that she was planning on respond, or that she said she was in the process of filing. You have those questions. But as far as Mizkif having a slam dunk defamation case, I just don't see it. But he would if they throw out that emotional truth. If the emotional truth wins, it's game over for the defamation case for Mizkif. If the emotional argument is tossed aside,
Yeah.
then Mizkif has a case. So I think his whole case against Imaru is going to bank on whether the judge accepts her live stream as her emotional truth or as a statement of fact used to destroy Mizkif.
Okay. The Texas Citizens Participation Act. Oh, that's the TCPA, also known as the Texas Anti-SLAPP. What does it do? Also, that's what he means, because apparently Mizkif bypassed that and is doing the lawsuit in another state that's not Texas. Oh, there's another clip from Mizkif where he shows more SS. Apparently, I haven't seen it though.
Why are we dating after all? Why are we dating after all that? And you're asking me on January 22nd, is your phone dead? Merp. And you're trying to call me. Hi, call. Then we talk. Mine picked up on the one winning. Interesting. Why would you do that if you wanted it on my... Here's you sending fucking videos of your cat.
You remember the time I wanted to marry Mix?
I'll tell you what she's trying to say. She's saying that she wanted to break up, but she wasn't able to break up.
Right, and she's saying, okay, but I can finally get...
Yeah, after I moved out, like I said, I still kept in contact. I hoped that somehow things would get better. He would change, beg me to come back. He would promise therapy and change. I want to change. I want to be better for Emmy or whatever. You know, there was a short period in October where we had broken up because, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter now. And when that happened, I honestly felt relief because I was like, okay, finally, it's like on his terms. So that means he'll be satisfied and he'll be able to say it, I was his choice, and he'll leave me alone.
Alone and be satisfied, and he'll be on his own terms. She wanted to break up so badly. Why is she messaging me all this kind of stuff and talking to me like this?
She says it at the end.
Where?
She said, I would try to push for it. It just felt like I couldn't like really separate, if that makes sense.
And then what I'm showing you is, how can she possibly say that?
Dude, I love that his friend is like, no, but I'm explaining to you what she meant. And he's like, no. But hey, at least it means his friend is not a yes man. Okay.
When she's asking me where I'm at, what am I doing? Like, look at this. You're like, Jeannie, hello? Do you not understand what I'm saying? She's literally saying, do you want to sleep together on December 30th, 2025?
That's good to show.
How are you saying, okay, finally, it's like on his terms, that means he'll be satisfied, and he'll be able to say it was his choice, and he'll leave me alone in October. But December 30th, we were dating again after this whole ordeal, and you're asking me if you want to sleep together.
She emotionally broke up with you.
Are you kidding me?
She emotionally broke up with you?
Okay, I'm going to bed. Oh, okay. I'm just getting ready. So, oh, okay, meaning she sounded kind of...
So, should he be doing all of this on stream, by the way? Like, I don't... Also, is that a photo of Pinky Chew? On his stream? Is it like a... So Tectone can talk about him? He's using the strat that Hassan was supposed to use. Let's watch the fast back from Legal Mindset. I think he's gonna explain what a motion to dismiss is in his video. Which is what I wanted to learn about.
Emeru has filed her motion to dismiss in the case against Mizkif, which also involves Asmongold. We're going to get into all the parties today, particularly Emeru's defense and the little chink in her armor, which might mess up her motion to dismiss. Of course, this is the Legal Mindset we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. This is a Fast Facts video, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. So in case you've been hiding under a rock, we've got the plaintiff here, Mizkif, Mizkif, who filed a defamation lawsuit against Asmongold, Emeru, OTK, and Mythic. And lately, there's been a clip trending around of him in a bit of an emotional state.
That's the clip we just watched.
And she waits 4.5 months to stall this out so no one cares anymore. And her response is that. Like, are you kidding me? And no one cares. No one cares. Like, no one wants to listen. It's so unfair. They go up my throat for cheese clips and say I'm an abuser. And that's her response. Her response is literally that it's her emotional.
Okay, when I said that I enjoyed men tears because I'm a pervert, that's not what I meant. Mizkif doesn't count. I don't know. He's like the one dude that makes crying unappealing. I'm sorry.
Version of it. Are you kidding me?
So we're going to get into that today and what he's talking about and the little issues we have with Emeru's defense. Then we, of course, have Emeru over here, who's the defendant. And she seemed from the beginning pretty prepared for litigation, knowing that litigation was going to come.
I would not be surprised if he tries to sue me for the stream that I did today and for coming out about him. Not because he thinks that he would win, but for PR reasons, like a slap lawsuit. It'd be interesting if that happened, and I wouldn't be opposed to people finding out more of the truth and things that I didn't even talk about today and what else he's been lying about. And I'm sure there's also plenty of things that even I don't know about.
So it seems like from the beginning, Emeru was prepared for a lawsuit, and part of a lawsuit is going through the steps, is going through the motion. So this is yet another part of the lawsuit that we have to get through. And of course, let's not forget Asmongold, who's part of this, and I'm going to reflect upon his defense in light of Emeru as we get into the facts here. So let's go with our opening statements. So Mizkif filed this defamation claim and other claims against OTK, Asmongold, Mythic, and Emeru. All evidence involves statements on Mizkif and Emeru's relationship. So it's all stuff that involves their relationship and how their relationship went down. Many comments and admissions were made by Mizkif himself, although some of the stuff and evidence has been submitted are Emeru's comments, and obviously her initial statement is part of the evidence. But both now procedurally, Asmongold and Emeru have filed motions to dismiss. And it's very important to get into what that exactly means. So a motion...
Like, are their lawyers teamed up together? Like, do they communicate, or do they all submit their own separate papers?
To dismiss, and you can see right here the filing that was just filed by Emeru. That is under the federal rules because Mizkif perhaps wisely got this in a federal court to avoid some procedural Texas law, which would make his claim even more difficult, almost impossible. You've got the...
Oh, so that's the and like the anti-slap law that we mentioned earlier, the Texas anti-slap law.
Federal Rule 12b-6 for failure to state a claim. This is a pre-trial motion, so it's before you get all witnesses called, it's before depositions, it's before a lot of the discovery of the
Oh, it's all separate, filed separately. Okay.
Actual case itself, and it only examines the legal sufficiency of the plaintiff Mizkif's claims. The one thing is, when you're looking at this and looking at a motion to dismiss, you do have to interpret all facts in favor of Mizkif. Now, of course, he has to specifically state those facts. Those have to be things that are backed up by evidence, by certain amount of evidence, and you also have to ignore legal conclusions or just statements of the elements. So if he's just going through there saying, well, these are the elements of the crime and I think she did the elements of the crime, that's not enough. You've got to back that up by saying, okay, here are facts that support that, right? And then those facts can be interpreted in favor of Mizkif. And an important note here is Mizkif is trying to amend his complaint to add facts that the first version of his complaint didn't have. And both of them, Asmongold and Emeru, are trying to prevent that. Emeru goes into a little bit more detail with her comments on why that should be prevented. But Mizkif did not do a good job of including a lot of facts in his initial complaint, which is why it was absolutely so laugh-worthy. But
like,
there may be...
I don't understand why he went into this huge lawsuit suing so many people if they weren't properly ready Because as he said as Alem said at the beginning of the video, Emeru seemed ready for it.
An issue here, a very, very specific issue here with Emeru's motion to dismiss. So the issue is,
although even though she was ready, I thought her initial statement was approved by a lawyer, but they should have counseled her against saying the word essay if it meant that it could weaken her case later on.
is in Texas, it's defamation per se to accuse someone of a crime or imputation.
Oh, that's why it's a slap lawsuit. They're just to bully them into silence and not go to court. I was talking about a relative that's a lawyer, and they say that actual like bad faith suing happens so often. It's actually sad. And the system isn't really kind to clients. For example, you could hire a lawyer, and you're set to go see the judge that day, but you don't know at what time. Your case could be delayed for like 6 hours, for example, and by the time you get to see the judge, then the judge is like, oh, actually we're out of time, so I'm going to convene you again tomorrow. But the client still has to pay for the lawyer the entire time they're waiting, and the next day if the case is like move further. Every single email, every single minute on the phone, the lawyer is charging for it. It's so expensive and sad. Like it sucks that the system is made like that. And sometimes it can take 2 years for a case to go to court. I get it, lawyers gotta eat too, and they're also, if they work in the lawyer's like cabinet or office, they are really pressured to bill in their hours. But man, if you get sued by somebody that's richer than you and you don't have a lot of resources, it is rough. Like they often say that it's called a justice system, but it's not always fair, right? And even if you sue somebody and you end up winning, even if you've been done wrong, if the person doesn't have the money to pay you back, you're also screwed.
Of serious sexual misconduct. And SA, right, you see it right there, is a felony which falls under both categories. So it's both a crime and an imputation of serious sexual misconduct. So both of those things are defamation per se. So if you have that information out there, you would interpret that, okay, that's defamatory. And of course, just for those that don't know, the crime of SA generally requires some sort of physical contact, right?
Okay. In Texas, it's defamation per se to accuse someone of crime or imputation of serious sexual misconduct. So sexual SA falls under both category because it's a felony, it's a crime, and it's an imputation of a serious sexual misconduct.
So that's something that's going to be required. And as of yet, we do not have any injunction or criminal complaint against Ms. Kiff that's been filed for SA. But which brings us to the problem. The problem is looking at Emeru's statements in the transcript, she used the language of SA at least 3 times during her main speech, which you can go through. And these are timestamps from the transcript, which was submitted to the court. We can read that today. Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Ms. Kiff has done towards me and some of these issues which are ongoing. That's number 1. Number 2, she opens up by saying, but because of the past incidents during like other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him, past incidents during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse and just generally not being a very nice person. And then last but not least,
I feel like I'm hearing something. Sorry.
I'm so grateful for how things are now. It was very difficult, but I'm very proud of myself for making the choices that I did to end up where I am now. And yeah, that's my story of dealing with psychological and domestic abuse, sexual assault, stalking, and being threatened on, if you know I ever talked about it. So there you go. You see the instances of her bringing.
Yeah,
that
I think it's feedback from his own microphone. I thought I was going crazy, or I had another tab like opened.
up. And this was definitely something that Emeru's lawyers knew that Miskiff was going to bring up because of that law, because of the defamation per se. And you do have this statement here. So this statement here seems to be the thing we have in the record that would go towards that, or towards her interpretation of that, which is the statement: "We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong or did something or did wrong in general. I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I had said sorry back then." So that was the incident, which perhaps...
So he's saying it's like a miscommunication.
She was interpreting that. It's the one we have from the record. Of course, this is Miskiff's own statement. Now, Emeru's defense here, and this is the position she filed in this recent filing, is that under Texas law, even a verifiably false statement is not defamation if the context reveals the statement was a reflection of an opinion, not a statement of fact. So they're trying to lean on the fact of saying, hey, this was more of an opinion than a statement of fact. Here, within the context of the entire 90-minute live stream, it is clear that Emeru was telling her own emotional truth, explaining how their relationship came to an end and the struggles Emeru endured during their relationship. The live stream was spontaneous, unedited, unscripted, and underscoring that Emeru was not delivering a rehearsed narrative, but instead was speaking openly and vulnerably in the moment.
Oh, so it wasn't scripted. I thought it was a statement that she prepared with her lawyers. Wait, that also plays into this. Is that true? Was it unscripted?
Her truth as she experienced it. Like the daughter in Benson, a Texas case that they cite, Emeru's allegedly defamatory statements were either non-actionable elements of opinion or mere opinions masquerading as fact. And then they go on to point out, because they know this is coming, that Miskiff will focus on Emeru's use of the term SA, which I'm going to stop there and just say very clearly, if she had not used that term, we wouldn't even be here today. This wouldn't be an argument. There would be a full, strong case for that motion to dismiss. But using that terminology is really what got her in that position. So without a doubt, without use of those words, there would be no position for Miskiff to hang his hat on here based on his own statements of his behavior.
It was her testimony. Got it.
Let's continue. And argue that Emeru's statements are necessarily defamatory because they include the same term. However, in comparison to...
I mean, she had notes for sure during the stream. I don't know if the notes were like, you know, full-on statement or if they were just like little bullet points of whatever.
Benson, once again, a Texas case they're relying on. Emeru described in detail the exact nature of his assault against her. Bizarrely, this one sentence that Miskiff actually quotes in the first amended complaint he started kissing me in my face and I let him do it, and then suddenly he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants, and I screamed, and when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat. Taking the whole context of the statement into account, as the court is required to do, it's very different than the stepfather in Benson. Emeru describes exactly what happened to her, and although she defines it as SA, a reasonable viewer would unquestionably understand that that term is her own description of what happened to her. The viewer is not left to guess as to the nature of assault based solely on the term SA, which focused on the fact that daughter did not actually describe the alleged assault. Just like in Benson, Emeru's statements are not actionable as defamation because they show her personal viewpoint, i.e. her own emotional truth, and not purported fact. So that's their position as to that specific thing. And that is a very, very precarious position at the point of a motion to dismiss, where you're getting into, hey, does this meet the legal standard? And when you're taking those presumptions, once again, the presumptions in favor of Miskiff in terms of the factual allegations. Understanding, though, that Miskiff did a poor job in his complaint of including details and spotting out things, and that's what he's probably trying to clean up, him and his lawyer trying to clean up and add to make sure that they perhaps survive a motion to dismiss. But this is their defense. So what do we look at? Well, in defamation in general, we're going to look at this how a reasonable person would look at this. So overall in the context, right, the fact finder, right, the jury at a certain point
Not sure how objective element can be what he has said in the past about Western women. I get it, but like I think, you know, it depends. It's video per video, and so far this video I feel like he's being objective. I haven't found a complaint in this video so far.
Right earlier on, we can look for summary judgment and motion to dismiss. These are going to be the judge is going to be making the decisions, but you're going to be looking from a reasonable person standard. And Emeru's problem or fundamental problem is that she repeated those words and also used them in the context of other crimes. And that would leave an implication that it was the criminal definition, right? And even if it wasn't, once again, we go back to Texas law, there's the imputation of serious sexual misconduct, which can also be defamation per se. However, here's the problem for Miskiff, and this is not just a clear thing where Miskiff is at the complete advantage. They're public figures, and the burden is on Miskiff to prove that Emeru did this with malice. So that is a higher standard. So essentially, Miskiff needs to prove that Emeru knew that this didn't fit the definition of SA and said it anyway. Said, I know he didn't do this. I knew what that was. I said it maliciously. And he's got to prove that by clear and convincing evidence, which is a higher bar at the civil level. Usually,
wait, that's going to be so hard to prove. How are they going to prove that?
It's preponderance of the evidence, which is a lower standard. It's got to meet a clear and convincing standard. That's very difficult for anybody to hit as a public figure and going up to hit that clear and convincing standard. So Miskiff doesn't have an easy ride here. Now, Asmongold. Let's talk about Asmongold real quick. Does any of this change what Asmongold has or his motion to dismiss? No, it does not alter that at all because Asmongold never used that term in any of his statements. So he doesn't have that same risk of defamation per se. Unlike Emeru, most of his content was a reaction and mostly he was just going straight up on what Miskiff was saying. Now, Emeru was telling her original story. That was kind of the original telling of the story. So there's nothing to react to at the beginning of the story, obviously. So Asmon was in a different position and could be more careful. But I wouldn't change any expected outcome for Asmongold based on Emeru's defense. So let's go to the judgment. So in my judgment, Asmongold can still likely gain a dismissal. I think he has very good grounds for that, and nothing about Emeru's defense changes his chances from being good with a dismissal. However, Emeru is in a difficult position, a much more difficult position than Asmongold comparatively, because she repeatedly used that word. And the emotional truth argument, right? And mind you, this is not trial yet. This is not even summary judgment, which is a later stage. It's not the strongest argument for a motion to dismiss. So I could see Emeru losing a motion to dismiss and then proceeding with the trial. And in the clip we watched in the beginning of this video, you saw how Emeru appears prepared for trial, prepared to go to discovery, prepared to have things gone out, because she seems to think and seems to preposition that there's more evidence that's going to make Miskiff look bad that hasn't even come out yet. So that would be coming out as part of the
I'd love to see that
discovery process and as part of a potential trial even. Now, Miskiff still has that super high bar as a public figure to show malice, but at this point, if you're weighing all the factors, let's say that Emeru was to lose a motion to dismiss, right? And she was not to be granted that motion to dismiss. Well, then obviously Emeru and Miskiff have a better chance of settling, right? That would be a point at which, if they both desired to, they could settle, and that would be more successful than Asmongold, who's likely to get out of this on a motion to dismiss. But once again, this case is not set anywhere. This also is set in Texas, which has that pretty high procedural, pretty high bars when it comes to defamation cases, and also the county might not be friendly to Miskiff. So there's a lot of things that are going on right now that still stand against Miskiff, but this might be a chink in this one step by Emeru. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below.
Interesting. But yeah, I think Asmund, best rule time streamers drama, don't take sides right away. The thing is, like, Miskiff was is an acceptable target, so there's no one is siding with him really. The only people that are sympathizing with him now are the people that are like, oh, women always, you know, ruin men's lives and stuff like that. But even prior to that, Miskiff is just like, you saw it, like, even if he cry, like, usually when somebody cries, you sympathize with them, but him crying is like producing almost the opposite effect. It's almost like on the internet you are judged more harshly for being cringe than for anything else. And in Miskiff's case, that is particularly true. Yeah, that was a good informational video from LM, and I enjoyed it. All right, that's done. I had such a big checklist of topics to cover. All right. After Colorgate, Selengate, and I feel like there was another gate recently. Oh, whoops, I wasn't on my streaming account. After Colorgates, Selengates, and more gates, we now have entered Burger Gates and the Burger Wars. Yup. Because now all the burger joints, all the burger fast food joints are at war against each other. And it all started from the CEO of McDonald's, who went viral for making a video. It's so stupid and I love it. It's like anime food war. So they decided to post this very candid short of the McDonald's CEO, you know, taking a bite off of their new burger, the Arch something. Also, my Flesh Oshi did a review video on it. We can watch it later. The Big Arch. They have this new product called the Big Arch, and he, you know, is eating it, but he looks disgusted by it. Like, he looks like repelled by it. He took the tiniest bite and say he's gonna eat it after the video. It's so fucking funny. And then he gets like burger mogged by all the other CEOs from all the other burger companies like Burger Kings, A&Ws. There's even like super Omega Who's from the burger industry that have jumped into the fight of the burger wars. It is the bite of consent. Yeah, it looks like he's being held at gunpoint eating this trio. Look at this, chat.
Chris K here with, you've heard about it, here it is, the Big Arch. This is something that we have tested already.
Okay, he's just really not charismatic. Like, dude is a reptile. Like, he's from the reptilian bloodline. I think he's an alien. I'm not sure he's even human.
In Portugal, Germany, Canada, I love this product. It is so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know. So here we go. First,
see, like, it's weird that he's not even eating the full thing right now. He's like, I swear I'll eat the rest later for my lunch, chat. Well, he doesn't say chat, but you know.
First, what I mean. Holy cow. God, that is a big burger. We've got a very unique kind of sesame poppy sort of bun on it. We've got 2 quarter-pound patties, a delicious Big Arch sauce, and of course...
Honestly, he could have started the video with, hello, my fellow human person. I will now eat this burger.
Or some lettuce. So, oh, there's so much going on with this. First of all, let's try to get this thing... I don't even know how to attack it. Got so much to it. Oh, there's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out. All right, the moment of truth.
This is the smallest bite ever. Like, look at this. Did he even get any patty? This is embarrassing.
That is so good. That's a big bite for a Big Arch.
What?
It's distinct.
Me when I lie on camera? That's a big bite for a Big Arch. There's no way he says that.
Actively McDonald's only McDonald's could do this type of burger, but it also is unlike anything else on our menu. It's a delicious product. You know, you've got sort of the cheeses and the gooiness, but those crispy onions as well gives a nice texture. And of course, we've got the pickles. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my lunch, but Big Arch, try it when you can get it.
Bro, he spit out that bite right after this cut and he put it down. Like, oh my god. The worst part is that they recorded this, watched it, and then decided to go ahead and upload it. That's crazy. And he's like, yes, I am human like you guys, I swear. Now, all the other CEO companies have also done their own videos to like respond as a response. The Wendy's guys.
That's a burger. Of course, we're starting with our Wendy's square patty, fresh, never frozen beef. Absolutely nothing better. Oh, of course, you gotta have a Frosty with a burger. Is this set up today? Oh, wait, our machines are always working.
Wait, is that a jab because the McDonald's like ice cream machines are never working? He says our machine are always working.
I've been waiting for this all day. Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef, our Applewood smoked bacon, our brand new bun, our
I fucking love this! This is absolute cinema!
square burger cooked on a flat grill. Amazing, absolutely
amazing.
Wonderful. That's a burger.
That's a real bite.
This is exactly the way a great hamburger should be. You gotta top it off with a fries and Frosty.
Yum. Okay, that looks like a nice burger.
Not bad, right?
Only one thing missing. A napkin.
Alan from A&W.
See, these guys look like they're actually having fun eating the burger. Man, the McDonald's CEO is getting mugged. He is getting hella mugged. Okay, I haven't seen the A&W one. He tries a teen burger.
W here with, you heard about it. Here it is, the teen burger. We love this burger product, which most people call a burger. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but this is actually my lunch. So let's see what we got going on here. Look at that. It has a unique bread that some people would call a bun, but really the star is what's inside. I mean, we've got the lettuce, which
okay, now I feel a little bit bad for the McDonald's CEO. Like, this is not even fair. It's like bullying. Like, it's like bullying at this point. All these burgers and it's Friday during Lent. Oh man, I'm going to the restaurant later, so I haven't eaten all day. This is making me so hungry. No way, lettuce in the burger? I love lettuce in the burger. The Big Macs always have some shredded lettuce.
is green and pickles, which make it taste pickly. And the teen sauce. The iconic teen sauce. So this thing is packed.
He looks like a kid saying this.
That was a little, I don't even know how to attack it. I guess with my mouth. Here we go.
Wait, didn't the McDonald's CEO also say that? I don't know how to attack it?
Moment of truth. No, that's good. It's good. It's a little bit of bacon. That is a big bite of a teen burger. And they're just $4.99 from now until March 11th. So go to A&W and get a teen burger when you can. And
what? Wait, they're only $4.99? It's like $22 at McDonald's for the fucking trio. Oh, he's straight up mocking him. It's a parody on purpose. Oh. This is cyberbullying. And they put it on discounts. It's Jover from McDonald's. How are the stocks looking? Are the McDonald's stocks down? Oh no, they're up actually. Well, they started really low today. All right, this is for one day. Oh, 5 days they were down.
I invite you to join me for lunch. Just you, me, and a couple of teen burgers. See you at lunch, Chris. See you at A&W.
Chris K here.
No!
With-
He said, see you at lunch, Chris, and Chris is the McDonald's CEO? No way. Alright, so we've seen that one already. Also, like, the Sprite, really? He didn't even take a sip off his drink or fry. Does he even like his own product? Okay, we've seen the whole video. Then there's more. I'm loving the cat fight. McDonald's stock price. For one day, it's going up today. It started really low, well, lower today. But yeah, it's been on a down trend. Overall for the month, it's not that bad. So Wendy's has posted a job offer about a title of Chief Tasting Officer at company Wendy's. Yes, that's Wendy's. Pay $100,000. Job type dream. Location remote. Travel light mostly to your local Wendy's and or the couch. Starting ASAP. Required credential. A human mouth, a pulse, opinions, creativity, taste. Yes, this is real. Do you hate your job? Are you too iconic to be opening PDFs for your boss? Ever been told you're a personality hire? Do you care more about bacon than bottom lines? Yes, we do. Are you more about JBC than KPI? Well, then you're in luck. Wendy is hiring a chief tasting officer. You'll help bring the vibes, taste, and creativity to the company in ways no one else can. Basically, you'll get paid to eat Wendy's, be chill, maybe make some content, and maybe even star in ads. Whether it's quarterly vlog, check-ins, taste trending, or whatever, you'll make cheddar just for liking cheddars. Benefits. Get paid to eat because it's not like your parents know what you do anyway. A custom Wendy's chief tasting officer email signature. A job AI can't steal because no mouth, duh. 100K, yes, actually. A Wendy's approved amount of chaos, control but still chaos, career advancement in bite leadership and sauce alignment. And I guess apparently this is real because the Wendy's account responded to it. No AI bots, no small bites, apply today. That is crazy. But I guess for how expensive Wendy's is now, 100K salary to cover the trios there makes sense. But still pretty funny that they did that. This is my calling. I was made for this. I was born for this. I need to apply. But why are they offering 100K for this? I don't get it. How many burgers do I need to eat? I hope I get to eat a lot. Wendy Tuber arc? Yo, I would. You will see me. We'll do like a drive-through Wendy stream. So, oh my god, what the hell? The report of the week made McDonald's new Big Arch review, and it's almost got like 1 million views. It aired like 3 days ago. Oh, because the right personality will sell millions of burgers? Hire Pecora!
Hello everyone! This is Running on Empty Food Review.
Is he in a park?
You don't know how long I've been waiting for this exact moment right here. I think all of us, at least most of us, have, I would assume, something to look forward to in life. Something that we think, well, no matter what, I'm just going to keep on pushing, you know? Anything. This is what's kept me going. The Big Arch.
Really?
Sit there and think to myself, you know what? When things look bleak, thought to myself, one day, McDonald's is going to release the Big Arch.
No shot.
It got me through everything. And now it's finally here. The big arch from McDonald's.
I like that he dresses up to eat his trios.
That's right. This is... that you could see I'm so excited about this. It's the big arch.
It's a big
What
arch.
more needs to be said? It's the big arch.
Yeah.
Not the little arch. It's not the
I want the big arch now.
medium-sized arch. It's the
I'm
big
already
arch.
sold.
And it's at a big price too. $11 for the big arch. But it's the
Wait.
big arch.
$11 just for the sandwich, though?
So, I mean, who am I to question the price? It should be
true.
$1,100, honestly. It's the big arch, right? It's from McDonald's. The big arch.
He even has his notebook.
2 quarter-pound beef patties. Of course. Because it's the big arch. 3 slices of white cheddar cheese.
3?
Should be glad it's not 4. It's the big arch. It's got crispy and slivered onions. Because it's the big arch. It's got lettuce, pickles, the big arch sauce, which is supposed to be tangy, creamy, and have a little bit of like a mustard, pickle, and tomato flavor to it. And it's available at the price of $11. It's the big arch. And I'm going to be reviewing it for you. And maybe it's good. We will see. Not thrilled about the price one bit, but aside from that, might be good having fun with this. At least trying to. I think that was a squirrel.
Which food is he talking about right now? The big arch, obviously. Oh, wait, you were being satirical. Okay, my bad. Carry on.
That was a squirrel. It's scampering over to McDonald's now because it just heard about
It's
the
the
wonders
big arch.
of the big arch. Look at that. Special packaging. It's the big arch. And that's the golden arches. See, that's not to be confused with the big arch. Alright.
The what?
It also
the big
comes
arch,
with a
chat.
special bun, by the way. It's supposed to be sesame seed and poppy seed. Now, we cannot commit blasphemy against the big arch. So don't think that's what I'm doing. Despite all of my sarcasm here. Here's the bun for the big arch.
The bun looks good.
I hope it's good.
Bro, I'd love to
After
do
that
food
utter
review.
failure. That
But
I still
all I'll be able to say is like, oh my god, this is so good. Or this is like a middle. Like, I wouldn't even have anything like smart to say about anything. I'd just be like, this is good.
can't get over in the last review. For that stupid pizza.
Oh wow. I'm
From-
not a fan of the fried onions though. I would rather it be bacon. I think there is bacon over here.
Papa John's that was so hyped up. I hope this is actually
Yo, this looks so
something to,
taste. Oh my fucking god.
that I can say
Oh.
nice things about.
My god.
That'd be nice.
Is there
I would
pickles
really
inside?
like that.
I prefer just regular onions, not the crispy ones.
You see all the ingredients there. Alright. So, you know what's on it. I know what's
Is
on
there
it. We all know what's
pickles?
on it. And now let's try it out. The big arch.
Let's
from
see how
McDonald's.
big his bite will be.
It's going in.
He's taking a McDonald's CEO bite.
A real big bite for a big arch.
He learned from the best. That's a big
Couldn't keep a
bite.
straight face doing that, but I had to.
He's also memeing the CEO. No way. It's a demure bite. No way. Everybody's taking shots at him.
Not that my actual bites are much better.
Yeah, the only thing unbased are his nails, unfortunately. But that's kind of his thing.
Take one more bite.
Yum.
You know what?
Dude, he always keeps the straight face when he's eating, and the suspense is fucking killing me.
For all the smack talk, as they say, that I talked, gave about this earlier, I like it.
That's it? I like it.
The only thing I don't like about it is the price. But aside from that, for a McDonald's release, especially in this day and age, I actually like it. I kid you not. You might say, oh, you McDonald's shill, right? What is there to like about it? Honestly, I enjoy the whole thing. I think this is actually one of the better McDonald's releases in recent times. I say that because I think about it this way, right? When it comes,
honestly, I could do a McDonald's food review. I've actually tried every single one of their products multiple times. I'm a McDonald's fan. Okay, I even preferred I preferred their fountain drinks over a canned Coke or something.
It's down to so many Burger King releases now. The item is actually just plain disgusting. It's hard, in my opinion, to make a burger gross and not even want to pick up and eat. But the big arch here from McDonald's, it actually looked pretty appetizing. Obviously, nothing is, really... There are exceptions, granted, but nothing is almost ever picture perfect compared to the ad, but, it looked pretty good. It's definitely... Yes, it's overpriced. It shouldn't be $11, but all things considered, it is a big burger. And looking at it, you can see the substance to it. But biting in, what I immediately noticed is actually pleasantly the quality of the beef patties. Especially from McDonald's,
Really?
Which has gone down.
From McDonald's? That is rare. I think A&W... lately, I feel like I've had better experiences with Burger Kings. Depends which product, but most of the burgers are good. A&W, the patties are good, but I find their chicken burgers lackluster. I feel like there's not enough things in the burger at all. It's just barely any sauce, barely any lettuce or pickles. Pickles are important. Or maybe it's because I think last time I went there it was 3 a.m. They were closing probably. It was one lady, it took her 15 minutes to make my burger. She was all alone there. I was listening to Shania Twain.
No, more and more these days. This is quite refreshing, truth be told. It's fresh, it's tender, it's juicy, good amount of meat. It's just not... It's not just this garbage, just, chopped up and mashed together and, just absolute... I was actually going to use an expletive to describe it, but I held my tongue at the last possible second for the sake of monetization. It's not refuse, right? It's actual, at least it tastes and seems, anyway, like actual meat. Like I said, juicy, flavorful, definitely a good amount of meat, too. Every single bite. So the quality of the beef, I'm happy with. Just as, you know, the base as a hamburger, I like it. The white cheddar cheese is there. It's not, you know, dripping off like you see in the advertisements, but it's definitely there. And, you know, definitely cheesy as well. You definitely do taste it. It holds it all together too, gives it both structure and flavor. So, an enjoyable cheeseburger. I was initially concerned about the onions, because again, it had both the crispy onions and the slivered onions, and sometimes it could just be over the top. It could be just like an overload of it. In this case, it wasn't, though. The crispy onions really just give it some texture, nice little crisp to it. The slivered onions are there, but it's not overwhelming.
Oh, there's
A little bit
both?
of sharpness to it, yes, but nothing crazy, nothing over the top. It actually combines well. Now, the lettuce and the bun are kind of just there. The bun is mostly decorative. The lettuce is kind of just, you know, it's there for looks, more or less. The Big Arch sauce is another thing that I notice here. It definitely has two notes that I notice especially. It has a tangy note to it, and then it also has that sort of mustard-esque quality to it as well.
I love mustard
but it's
and
very
Dijon.
pleasant. Again, you're mostly, it's not to say that it is a mustard, it just resembles a mustard, and that's sort of an analog to it in some cases, but I wouldn't directly say.
I ate like this morning. I'm already hungry, Marcanus.
But that's what it is, you know, it's still its own thing. But definitely like a tangy mustard, and it helps tie everything together as well. You know, it takes it from just being what already was a decent cheeseburger.
I can't wait to look at the comments.
And it gives it some extra flavor as well. I'm happy with it. It's one of those instances where, yeah, it's not gourmet, you know, it's not... I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this is the best burger that I've ever had. And, you know, let's say if suddenly I found out that I only had 24 hours more to live.
Yeah, no, the sauce is not the one from the Big Mac.
You know, I'm going to spend my dying day crawling over to McDonald's to get the Big Arch again. You know, it's not that good. But when we're talking fast food in 2026, all things considered, it's pretty solid for what it is. And I'm pleasantly surprised. It's better than most of the fast food burgers I've had in this day and age at this point, I'm pleased to say. Like I said, I like it. I'm going to eat the rest of it. I'm happy with it. The only thing that I'm not happy about, again, is the price. You know, it is overpriced, and I am not fond of that. But everything else is fine by
I
me.
love
So
him.
I am going to be deducting a point or two based on the price, but aside from that, with the Big Arch, it's not as messy as I thought it would be either. Out of 10, therefore, 8.5 out of 10 is what I'm going to give it. And again, if it were a little better price-wise, would definitely rate it even higher than that. But overall, pleasantly surprised. I went into this with my expectations tempered. I wasn't really expecting all that much. I thought, oh, another McDonald's release, right? Oh boy, this is going to be real great. And surprisingly, you know, I tried this out and it's actually edible. And I actually think, wow, you know, this isn't for once an item that as soon as I turn the camera off, I'm just going to close the box and throw it in the trash, which is what I do with 90% of the things I review on this channel nowadays, because it's not worth eating. But this is something that has differed from the trend, and that's a huge compliment. So, like I said, price aside, I'm happy with it. Big Arch. So maybe the price varies in your location, wherever you might be. Just take that into account if you want to part ways with $11 for it, but I would say that it is a substantive burger. You know, half pound of beef, that is something. And it tastes good too, so just consider the price, and if that's something you're
Imagine
comfortable,
throwing away
again,
food.
Justifying and parting ways with it. But I would say, if you do decide, alright, I'll fork over the $11, you're going to get a good burger, I'm happy with it.
Okay. So with the fries and like the big drink, it's gonna come up to like what, $22 or something?
And that's all that I have for you today. Thank you for
22
watching. Until
US.
next time, I'm your host, the report of the week, trying out the Big Arch from McDonald's, and I think that's all that I really have to talk about this time around. I will mention, I see that I do have an extra minute or so left. I'll just throw this in real quick. If you want to help support my podcast and my radio show, I've been talking a lot about some of the current events around the world, giving extensive coverage about that. I have myself a nose for news. I try to be unbiased, impartial, and try to keep folks informed and share my thoughts on both serious matters, but also, of course, just any random thoughts on my mind as well. I do that in my radio show, which I do 3 times a week now. Every week. It goes out on the international shortwave, also streamed online, and it goes out on Patreon as well.
He has a fucking radio show. He's such a gentleman.
The show, like I said, features my discussion about, yes, news, current events, but also random subjects. I balance it out with listener-requested music, shout-outs. It's just a fun atmosphere I try to foster, and it's a lot of fun to do, and folks that tune in seem to enjoy the show as well, but it does need your support. It's not a cheap undertaking. I wish I could say otherwise, but it isn't. Your support keeps it going. If you enjoy the show, you want to hear more of it, you want to keep it going, please consider supporting it. Patreon.com/The Report of the Week. Patreon.com/The Report of the Week. More info is in the pinned comment or in the description down below.
I love how he repeats it twice, like some boomer when you give away your when you used to leave your number on somebody's like mailbox.
If you support it on Patreon, you can access all of my radio shows on demand, anytime. It's the least I can do to try to give back for your support. And likewise, going to be doing a lot of extra shows throughout the course of this week, so you're even going to be accessing more content in addition to what you usually get. Alright, and now that's all that I have. Thanks for watching once again. Take care.
Nice. What a legend. As soon as I saw the first bite, oh no, the CEO bite. The sarcasm, the self-awareness, the humor, the dignity, the honesty, the fashion, the passion. It's all there. It's perfect. The CEO bite fucking killed me. One thing I truly appreciate about this channel, literally forgot it existed for several years. Thought of it the other day, came back. It's the same content as when I left. Felt like coming home. Aww. I swear this guy is immortal. He's been like 19 for 76 years at this point. That's so cool. That's so cool. Oh, another Pirate Software video. I need to catch up on the Pirate Software stuff at one point. What else? Oh, yes. Nuzagi made a video about Niji Sanji that I do want to check out.
In 2024, English VTubing faced the biggest drama it could have experienced, the termination of Selen Tatsuki, which resulted into the rapid destruction of Niji as a brand. A lot of things has happened since these last 2 years, and I thought it would be a good idea to look back at what had happened since then. This isn't going to be a documentary or a video essay. We'll be a little bit chill in this video, just a retrospective in the direction VTubing has gone through without Niji Sanji as a driver in the industry anymore. We're going to go through some major dramas in Niji Sanji. We're going to show the numbers. We're going to show the Niji EN members that has left since then and where they are now. And then we're going to introspect a little bit. Let's get right into it then.
Bye-bye,
Let me give
Henry.
you a timeline of events throughout 2024 up till now. In early January, Pomu Rainpuff decides to graduate, citing missed opportunities and the whole disagreement with management spiel. This was pre-Selengate. There was already a brewing dislike for Niji Sanji at the time, but it still had a lot of goodwill, and their numbers weren't that bad still. During this time, Selen has been absent for a good while, which prompted a response from Niji Sanji when she wasn't going to be able to appear for Anime Impulse in mid-January. On the very first day of February 2024 though, Kyoka...
His editing is great. I wonder if he edited that video himself.
Echo announces his graduation, fueling a lot of rats such as the graduation queue or that 5 more people are definitely coming out too. But then February 5th comes, and we all know what happened in February. The following days are things that we're all familiar with. Riku says negligible, their stock tanks, Hype cancels their collaborations with them, the black screen stream, Rico apologizing, the termination goes mainstream, among many other things. The story does not need...
Dude, the fact that they said negligible, literally, like, it killed them.
No repeating. Then
So
their
many
numbers
memes.
start dropping significantly, like how Rosemi dropped below 500k. So did Millie, among many other people. The backlash was so intense that some members like Vox and Elera decided to stream a bit more in Bilibili to get away from the backlash, or to perhaps want to try and branch out in fear of losing their platform. Ultimately, they returned to YouTube after a while. Come March, Afkai decides to cancel the appearance of Enna and Millie and Reimu due to the obvious concerns. Whether or not this was done by them or Nijisanji decided to cancel it was up in the air. But then a rando decides to drop a nuke. Raziel Warmonic, a Menhera ex-mod and former friend of Luca Canini.
Remember how they were, like, asking people about Falls? About a photo that Falls, like, posted on his Twitter? And they were asking, like, the con organizer to tell him to take it down or something. It was crazy.
Nishiro dropped a Google Docie on his ass.
bullies.
The allegations include sexual misconduct, emotional abuse, and most importantly, violating Nijisanji's own contract. Oh, and their contract also got leaked. It looked pretty bad, but in hindsight, it seems like most companies took a page out of this playbook and has the same elements. Raziel Warmonic was also promptly served a cease and desist from Nijisanji, but she dropped one last bombshell by revealing that a Nijisanji member, Aster Arcadia, was a sex pest. We'll get into this later. Sometime later, Kuro and Michi also has stories about how Nijisanji essentially fucked up their taxes and possibly, allegedly, may have committed tax fraud. Patara Khan has also shared about how she got bullied by fans of certain GEN members, as well as actual NijiEN members themselves. Then, finally, in April, the long-awaited Nijisanji AR Live concert finally happens. Something that has been promised to the audience for an entire goddamn year. Of course, with a lot of editing to no longer feature graduated members. But, it's one of those type of things where if you were a Nijisanji fan, you'd love it because you eat everything they produce. But, objectively, quality was a bit up in the air as well. In May, Nijisanji releases a...
It was also, like, a concert that was supposed to happen, I think 1 or 2 years before, but that kept getting delayed and rehashed. Which is wild. And then, do you guys remember that VTuber News article that was, like, deep-throating them, saying it was the best VTuber concert ever made? That was crazy. Regarding that matter, I saw a Reddit post saying, where the OP was saying that, like, he read again some VTuber News article, and they're doing a recap of VTubing in 2025, and they seemed like super biased for Nijisanji. And I'm curious because I think the owner or editor of VTuber News stopped by on the stream a couple of times and he seemed nice. I'm curious where that bias comes from and if it's true. It'd be worth looking into it. Mertkip, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. Thank you. I'm halfway through the big arch now. I'm soon gonna be able to buy one.
Co-ed generation, The Nelf, which had Clara, Ryoma, and Twisty. Ryoma had a drama where Schizos in r/Kurosanji thought he was the creator who scammed their fans. But turns out that wasn't the case and retractions had to be done. Oh, and remember Twisty. She is a surprise tool that will help us later.
Yeah.
Another concert-related affair, in June 2024, they were set to perform a 3D concert in LA during Anime Expo, but because ticket sales were so low, it was promptly cancelled. I ran the narrative that the reason that such a big fucking English agency like Nijisanji would have low ticket sales in NA was because of 2 reasons. 1, because of Selengate, and 2, because most of NijiEN's audiences were female. Most of those females were in Asia, and while yes, they did have a large male EN simp fanbase, they only gathered around particular female talents like Selen, Pomu, and Scarlet. Reason number 1 was why those said fanbases didn't come. A month later in July, Kunai Nakasato goes on a hiatus which led to a graduation without a graduation stream, leaving their gen which Nijisanji didn't even give enough fucks to name, promote, or really even support. And then in August, Hex Haywire decides to graduate as well. This time, the separation was amicable. In October, Victoria Brightshield announces her graduation, and the days leading up to her final stream, she had an interesting choice of words when expressing her utter contempt towards the company. It basically boiled down to Nijisanji sucking, and they also sucked out of the fun of streaming and content creation for her to a point where she doubted continuing to pursue it. Then in December, Nijisanji launched a third-party investigation into sexual misconduct accusations from within the agency,
which
with
led
people
nowhere.
cheering that Nijisanji is finally doing something for the betterment of the talents. What prompted this was false ID, as he had reported more information about Aster's alleged shenanigans, one of which was where he offered to a redacted talent that they'll fly them out to Japan to do some sexual shit. And when this was reported to the company, management decided not to do anything. Huge fucking bombshell right there. Nijisanji didn't want to end their year without another management disaster. Now, the person who did this leak, as we all know, was Twisty, whose time in Nijisanji seemed to have been hellish. Aside from sexual harassment from Aster, her outfits got leaked outside the company by another Nijisanji member, something that she really holds a grudge for. More fuel for the bullying allegations, I guess. Then the next year, January 2025, Twisty came back for her birthday event temporarily and with open arms from her audience. A Google Doc against Vox Akuma also got released in the same month, and as organized and properly formatted as it was, the doc was dogshit in terms of proof and clarity.
We read it on stream, cringe stuff that he did for sure, but it was so long ago that legit it didn't fucking matter. Like, they were grasping at straws.
A cleaned up but regurgitated version of a prior Google Doc. In February 2025, the anniversary month of Selengate, there was no drama, but there was Nijifest 2025, and they teased the 11th generation of Nijisanji EN. That gen's name is By the Beat, an all-male group that was set to debut literally the next month. And all things considered, even with the drama, By the Beat was still successful.
They did
debuted in March 2025. Yes, they did not have the same kind of numbers that Noctix, Iluna, or even Exolay had, but they were still successful even to this day. They managed decent numbers, some of which even surpassed their senpais. In April 2025, Noctix member Folger Ovid announces his graduation. This was a huge blow, but it was a graduation that was very drama-free and, dare I say, professional. I don't recall any sort of
They also made sure to keep away from. They were kind of strategic with who they collabed with.
Outrage or even videos covering the situation with any sort of negative connotation. But in that same month, Ike Eveland graduates fucking immediately. This was an even bigger blow because this was a Luxian member, literally one of Nijisanji EN's top 5 assets, and he was just deciding to dip. It was sort of a complete opposite to Folger, but the immediateness of the graduation was what got people's attention. The next month in May, Folger graduates, but then Kotoka Torahime from Exolay graduates too. Kotoka is in a very unfortunate situation because for some reason, Schizos believe that Yozuramel of Hololive told Kotoka secret information about Hololive and led to her termination, pinning that mistake on Kotoka's hands. Okay, take a break, breathe. A lot of this information might be overwhelming for you. You done? Okay, because literally in the next month, a friend of Twisty decides to leak a recording where she was ranting about all sorts of things, which includes a few minor subjects like hating an Indian guy called Epic and hating his kind.
Dude, she is the most unlucky person. It's crazy. It's somebody's been targeting her for sure. To have that video come out there was wild.
I think that might be racism. That she hates trans people, and that she thinks men are mentally ill and insulted her own fan base, and then others withdrew their support for her from the general VTuber audience. While people feel bad that she's being treated like this in Nijisanji and that she got sexually harassed by Aster, some people felt put off by how spiteful she seemed to be.
She did that to herself, yes, but also she surrounds herself with the worst people.
To be able to continue supporting her. Speaking of Aster and Twisty, remember in December in 2024 they did that whole third-party investigation thing? Well, it's been 6 months.
And TBH, she's been taking accountability and has apologized for what she said. And has, put on a good effort to turn the ship around. And she even told some people in her audience that it was not based and stuff. She's doing a lot more than a lot of VTubers are doing in regards to that. that I've been seeing on social media.
And nothing happened. What did happen though was Nijisanji terminating Twisty after her recording leaked, citing discriminatory speech. Now, while you might agree with this decision, some others did not, you might feel put off about how Nijisanji treated this. With all the bullying allegations, the racism allegations, sexual harassment allegations, and multiple talents like Luca violating contract terms, you're telling me Nijisanji is ignoring all of that, but decides to fire Twisty? It felt like Nijisanji already hated Twisty and just needed a reason to terminate her. Some would even frame this as Nijisanji protecting actual sex pests from within their own company. Twisty would come back with a vengeance.
It was definitely them using this excuse to terminate her, so without having to mention the Aster allegations.
So, as she did a black screen stream addressing her own drama and confirming that, yes indeed, Aster Arcadia was behind her sexual harassment, that there were multiple women outside and within Nijisanji that were victims, and that the company itself was protecting him, even as far back as July of 2024. Huge! And this whole thing finally resulted in Aster Arcadia being separated from Nijisanji in July 2025. Separated, not graduated or terminated, separated. This wet noodle of a graduation was so bizarre that one has to wonder why the hell Nijisanji was protecting this predator so much.
Like, I don't understand why they wouldn't just terminate him. He's a brand risk. He was not streaming. He wasn't earning them any money. There's no business reason to keep him.
Hey, maybe Aster knows something we don't. In August, 2 graduations hit the tower, Reimu Endo and our beloved Rosemi, both effective in the same month, both citing disagreement with management. Nothing much happened in the next few months until Ike Evans' ex decides to drop a nuke. This person, Barilof, decides to make a black screen video alleging a former Nijisanji member was being a whore to her ex-boyfriend Ike and for doxing her. This Nijisanji member was Reimu, who again just graduated a couple months prior and had reincarnated into her new form, Mari FD. Mari decides to counter this with a Google Docie, saying that she didn't whore herself out to Ike and already apologized for appearing to do so, and that the extent of the doxing was just Mari saying that Barilof was a Manhera in her private account. No mentions of names or anything. Barilov goes Manhera on Twitter for a bit before eventually making a response doc. Mari FD did not bother responding to any of this anymore because at the end of the day, Barilov's thesis was doxing and harassment since there was no proof of such, so the drama died from here. Though the side information was the more notable parts of this drama, the docu exposes a lot of interesting things about Nijisanji, such as Ike being bullied within the company.
The dog did like sustained damage. That was the biggest reveal of the year almost. And that combined with the information Twisty gave, like, it uncovered a lot of the things going on at Nijisanji. And it's kind of a chain because they all bounced off each other. We wouldn't have been able to put the points together if it wasn't for like what other people had said, like Raziel, Twisty, this guy, you know, all the little testimonies put together is how we connected the dots. It's crazy. Yo, Suni, thank you so much. Thank you for the cute squad. 1 month. Welcome.
Vox and Reimu being in a relationship, Vox
and
being
Quinn,
a man-whore cheater.
True, and Quinn too. Yeah.
And confirmations of favoritism within the company. Shortly after this disaster fest in November, Ike Evelyn then decides to come out of the woodworks and collab with Doki Bird. This is important because Ike was one of the 3 people that was part of the Selengate black screen stream. Yeah. He cites that he has been fed false information and pressured to go with them as the reason he went up there with Vox and Elira.
Again, confirming a bunch of rats that management was lying to the talents, kind of like the Vishojo situation, where they were bad-mouthing the talents that were leaving.
No, if he will be a streamer again, but he's going to take some time away from it. And then in December, Rosemi, in her PL, Fuzuki Miki, expresses hesitation in becoming a streamer again, but ultimately decides to commit and fully come back. In the same month, Renzoto holds his first 3D concert, which featured a lot of bangers and surprising names. So at least 2025 ended in a slightly positive note for Nijisanji. And then in 2026, nothing really happened so far. So those are the timeline of dramas that happened within the company.
Well, on the EN side, yeah, okay.
That's a lot of graduations, but if you haven't caught up with the Nisanji, you might be asking how they are doing now. Since 2024, we have 13 Nijisanji members who graduated. We're going to go into their PL and see what they're doing and how they're doing. Pomo is mint, I'm sure we all know that, and she is doing better than ever. She seems happier too, and I like this development because Pomo originally wasn't even sure if she still wanted to be a
like Mint is actually popping off sponsors, opportunities wise,
streamer after her departure from Nijisanji, and now she's having the time of her life. New friends, new brand, new fresh eyes to witness her reach her full potential as an idol streamer VTuber. Kyo Kaneko also has an interesting development. At first, he pursued VTubing, but after a while, he detached himself from that sort of branding and is committing to being a flesh streamer. He says he doesn't feel welcome in VTubing, that he's like a scapegoat for things he isn't responsible for. Though he also says that his on-screen content does better for him in the algorithm, and he doesn't want to do the whole deep-voiced hot guy thing that's very popular as a male VTuber. He's doing variety content right now, averaging 100 to 150 viewers. Selentatsuki, I don't need to give you an update on Selentatsuki. Hex Haywire now goes by Kairio. He mostly streams on Twitch, averaging 400 to 600 live viewers. Most of his content is indie, narrative-focused games, then a little bit of yapping. Yes, to people that might ask, he still does that whole deep voice thing, so his content is primarily...
He's got the pirate software mic, dudes.
...primarily for women still. Kunai Nakasato is now Sunnysplosion under Glitch Stars. She makes variety and react content, averaging 200 to 400 viewers, though her reaction content on an alt channel is perhaps the most notable thing.
She's doing well on the react, it's crazy how well react content does, especially for like comedy videos.
Numbers-wise, with some react videos reaching up to hundreds of thousands of viewers per. She's still doing well, I'd say, though at the recording of this video,
Sunny
she's
stays
been
winning
absent for almost a month. Victoria Brightshield now goes...
I thought Glitch Stars dissolved, but I honestly I didn't keep up with that, so I don't know. I don't know.
...goes by Mogu Ghost under Glitch Stars too, considering she and Kunai were genmates. She averages 300 to 400 viewers, and she does a lot of variety gaming. She uploads her Yap sessions and highlights on YouTube. Fulgur Ovid reincarnated a few months after his graduation. He is now... I don't know how to pronounce this name. He averages 300 to 400 viewers, though he streams on YouTube instead of Twitch, and his content is mostly storytelling and lore videos from what I can tell. Ike Evelyn goes by Sandu is bored.
Oh, Glitch Star is still going, but they still have they just had a couple members leave. Okay, okay. Sunny left Glitch Stars and became an affiliate. Got it.
But he has stated that he is taking a break from streaming, so he hasn't really uploading anything or made content aside from the ones that he's already made before. But if you want to watch some Ike songs, go ahead. Kotoka Torahime? Really unfortunate. I know she was loosely involved with the whole Sayu drama back in 2023, but then the added...
Because the thing is, she threw Sayu under the bus, so a lot of people disliked her for it. And now that we know that management badmouthed the talent and may have fed them false information, perhaps that is more excusable. Not sure.
Backlash, where people were accusing her of getting Mel terminated, probably did a lot of mental damage. I haven't found anything about her new incarnation. I don't even know if she'll come back. It's one of those instances where you just sort of forget she even graduated and still think she's part of Nijisanji. Rough stuff. Aster Arcadia, ooh, he goes by Ada now, such a gay name. And after separating from Nijisanji, he promptly went live and tried to address the whole "you are a sex pest" thing by saying absolutely nothing productive at all. But I will give him props for showing his face. I don't know if I'd have the balls to do even something like that after all the allegations, but that or he's stupid. After that one stream, he's never made any stream afterwards. So, hey, be wary of this person, I guess. Raymond.
Yeah, he's done for. Damn.
Is, as we all know, Mari FD. She averages 100 viewers, and her content is mostly variety. Some RPGs here and there, story-driven games, handcams, and a whole lot of variety. She also makes a lot of songs, and has that soft, casual, cozy sort of vibes. Yes, that whole situation with Barolof is a stain upon her history, but she's surviving. Who doesn't have a stain upon her history at this point? Rosemi is now Fuzoki Miki, averaging around 1,000 to 2,000 viewers per, and her shtick is mostly wacky games, some
She's doing really well.
ASMRs, and some turbo autist nerd stuff, the kind of things she made as Rosemi. Honestly, the transition from a Rosemi viewer into her is going to be super smooth, so you're welcome to find her if you want. So those are the ex-Nijis, not including those that graduated before 2024. I mean, we kinda already know who they are at this point. Matara is Nina, Michi is Mika, Kuro is Mista, yada yada yada. For the most part, it seems like ex-Nijis are enjoying their time away from the agency. Looking back at the Niji-Sanji situation, it feels like it's unfair that a lot of backlash and negative connotation got associated with talents that didn't do anything. People like Hyo, Aya, and Ryoma, as well as a few others, weren't at all involved with any of the bullying allegations, and yet they suffer consequences they did not deserve. But at the same time, Nijisanji EN as a branch receiving that level of backlash was needed. We have multiple accounts that people were getting bullied, abandoned, and abused in that agency. The principle of support the talent, not the agency.
I mean, like the Barry doc and the Ike thing, like he literally said, there's a screenshot where he says, I don't want to be in a collab with my doxers and bullies. Like he got bullied there. It's crazy.
Is something
he had to say that to his manager, and the manager just took it with a straight face.
That ultimately does not work in practice, because by supporting the talent, you do financially and statistically support the agency. When a company's brand is built on the reputation and perception their talents have on the company, this was ultimately going to be the direction. Hitting the agency indirectly hits all the talents, and if we have people that we like in there, all we can really hope for is that they are treated well by their individual managers.
It's crazy how Scarlett was totally untouched by the drama just because she kind of just does her own thing, and she's been thriving.
And their reputation goes beyond the grasp of their agency. Something like Scarlett, for example. We all sort of wanted Scarlett to get out of Nijisanji during the peak of Selenkate, but it seems like she is happy here and still has plans, and if she wants to say, we should respect and support that decision. Same goes for people like Ren and Aya. I feel bad because I felt like I was too hard on them, yet I am aware that I needed to be hard on them. I love Niji EN as an agency, a culture, and their members. At least, I loved what they were, what they used to represent. Some more than others, but they were a positive force in my life. Looking at the GEN in 2021 and 2022, and looking at them now feels like that one friend that has a promising bright future spiraling into a drug addiction, begging for money in the streets now. It's just a shame that ex-fans need to boycott the agency that hard to get
dark.
The change that they wanted, if there was change at all. And you know, maybe Nijisanji EN is better in some ways now. I don't know. It's a hard sell to convince an ex-fan to watch Niji EN again consistently. With a lot of the core members gone and the culture torn apart, it's difficult to not be disillusioned and difficult to buy into their content. But maybe that's the strat for Nijisanji. Maybe it's not to get back the viewers that they lost, but to find new ones that they haven't reached yet. To create a new culture and tear apart that veil of disillusion.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's the way to breathe life into the company again. Not through collabs and events, but a new identity. Back then, Nijisanji used to represent a generalist culture, an agency culture where it felt like the talents could do anything with little oversight. A stark contrast to Hololife's seemingly controlling and suffocating nature. Now, we know that was just what it was because they ultimately weren't managed properly at all. I wanted to end this video looking at the current numbers of Nijisanji members, and I did. If you were a member of the channel or the Patreon, there's a version where I do, but I wanted to leave the video on a neutral note. Still, go ahead and do that. Sub now, sub now, sub now. Nijisanji JP will be fine. Nijisanji EN, hard to say. I think they'll need a big moment to gain their footing again, and as an ex-fan, I think I'm one of the very few people that is low-key rooting that they'll make a comeback. This time without
McDonald's and Starbucks drama for Scarlett. Yeah, but those drama made people sympathize with her more than turn away from her. And same with Rosalie. Rosalie also had some backlash for the McDonald thing. Because she used that McDonald asset, remember? She didn't even she just used an asset. She didn't even eat there. This is crazy because the whole premise of the boycott was that you shouldn't spend your money there.
The bullying cliques or the protecting predators or the management abuses. I don't expect or want Nijisanji to be the perfect agency. No agency is. I just want them to be better than what they were. To no longer be the environment that bred suicidal thoughts and sucked the fun out of streaming for others. I want Nijisanji to be great again. Hi, thanks
if only the McDonald's haters knew about the big arch.
for watching the video. You see these boards? They are really nice boards, and you get to be on them if you become a member or sub to my Patreon. Exclusive videos, uncensored videos, early videos are released there first before anywhere else. And, you know, I needed to pay my groceries. So, you know, thank you. Watch another video now. Bye-bye!
Nice video. I enjoyed this. It's great. Why do I know about all of these things? I have the most useless knowledge stored in my brain. True, she was DGID, but she was like honorary member NIGN. Terminally online knowledge that nobody should ever have. What time is it? Oh shit. Alright, I gotta go. Telling the Big Arch Burger versus New Whopper drama? Big Arch Burger. That's funny. Alright. I'm gonna read one of the people from that tweet I made. So, I'll see you guys on the flip side. We still gotta watch Uma Musume together. I'll be announcing the subathon soon. And thank you for everything so far. I'll let you guys know if the restaurant is good. I'm being forced out of the house. I really didn't want to go. I kind of just want to save money right now because, you know, it's tax season and everything. But I haven't seen anybody in like a month except my family. So I'm being forced out of my house. So I will make an effort to socialize a little bit and touch some grass. I'll keep in touch via Discord.